Did your mother ever give you advice when you were a child? Oh yes. Did you ever ignore that advice? Uh-huh. Advice like, don't run in the house! Don't sit so close to the TV! Spit that out! You don't know where it's been! Now, I didn't ignore everything my mother told me, but I must admit that lately, I run up the stairs. And when you hear why, I hope you'll ask yourself, what's my stairwell, and why aren't I running? By way of background, I teach Arabic at the Defense Language Institute in Monterey. And if you were to join me at work next week, you would see samples of the students' right-to-left handwriting on the bulletin boards in the halls. You would smell coffee brewing in nearly every classroom and office as the teachers and students alike fought to stay awake throughout the day. You would hear the students wrestling with the foreign sounds, and the teachers also struggling to explain the differences, obvious to them, between the two Arabic H sounds, T sounds, and S sounds, and why, when a student thinks he says, I'm going to the bathroom, and أذهب إلى الحمام, he really winds up saying, I'm going to the pigeon. Mostly, though, you would feel the pain in your knees and ankles from climbing up the 6 flights of stairs every day to get to my office and classrooms on the top floor of my school where there is no elevator. For years, climbing those stairs was a chore I dreaded. I honestly would sit in my office for hours longer than necessary just to avoid going up and down those stairs more than I absolutely had to. I'm embarrassed to say that I was lazy and had come down with Dunlap syndrome. Oh yes, my belly had done lapped over my belt. Now one January, I received a new batch of students, all regular military types, but one soldier in the group, his name was Chuck. He walked more slowly than the others, and with a cane. When I asked him, what's this? He popped to enlisting attention and shouted, this is the result of an improvised explosive device taking my right leg off at the knee during patrol in Iraq. This is the result of months of physical therapy and a long, hard battle to stay in the Army, stay in the fight, and not give up, Sergeant! How do you, soldier? Your class is at the top of this stairwell. Can you handle that? Well, Sergeant, they told me I was never going to walk again, but I'm here now. It'll take more than a stairwell to beat me. All right, carry on. Now, I only knew Chuck for 2 months. Can't learn Arabic in only 2 months. In fact, it takes a year and a half to graduate this course. But for 5 days a week, for 8 weeks straight, I watched Chuck tackle those stairs, one leg at a time, one stair at a time, twice a day. I would check in on him every so often. Say, what's up, Chuck? Got a bigger ice pack for my knee, Sergeant. After a couple more weeks. What's up, Chuck? Doctor increased my pain meds, Sergeant. 2 more weeks. What's up, Chuck? It's getting hard to think through the pain, Sergeant. And after 2 more weeks. Hey, Chuck. You failed your last test. You have to go now. So I watched Chuck gather his belongings and head for the stairs one last time. But before he limped out of my life, he turned and said to me, sometimes the stairs win. He was gone. For 2 months, I watched Chuck fight those stairs. And every day for 2 months, I felt my manhood cheapen. When he left, I closed the door to my office and said in the silence of my heart, what's wrong with you, John? You're a tired, soft, and lazy man. And why? You have all of your limbs, they work fine, you have opportunity. That man broke himself against those stairs. Yet you hide in here, scared of him. Chuck left me standing at a stairwell, asking myself, Would those stairs beat me too? No. Those stairs I loathed were not going to beat me. From the day Chuck left, I started to run up those stairs every time. Oh, at first I was huffing and wheezing like the little engine that could. But I kept at it. And after a few weeks, I started to pick up some speed. A few more weeks, and I had a bounce in my step that was never there before. Whoa! Oh yeah, meeting Chuck was a major turning point for me. I now appreciate the fullness of my life. And by running up these stairs, I honor Chuck and the sacrifices he makes every day that I am not asked to make. So I ask you now, what's your stairwell? What challenge in your life are you avoiding? It might be physical, like only having one leg. It might be in your education, your career, or even with your family. Why aren't you running? Perhaps someone told you that you couldn't do it, or you shouldn't do it. Maybe you feel you're too tired, like I was. Maybe you feel you don't have enough time, or that it's a goal too far gone. Chuck showed me, by his example, that these are lies that we tell ourselves to assuage our consciences because we inherently know when we're not living up to our full potential. Today, rebuff these lies and leave them behind. It won't be easy, but I promise it will be worth it. Rise to meet the challenge in your life, wherever it may be. Find your stairwell and start running. Thank you very much.